minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Lori Swan. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the chat room, we ask that you do keep it family friendly. There are moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platforms that we're using tonight, which is YouTube and Twitch. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute to hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I go live. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's been a busy day. This is actually my third broadcast today. I don't usually do this many because I get pretty tired when I do them. But you guys caught the one from this morning where I kind of set the record straight on the video yesterday. If you're not familiar with those two, go back and watch them. And then we did the showing the evacuation of NOLA of Louisiana. Just want to have everybody keep them uplifted in prayer, hedge of protection around them. That area has never even really recovered from Katrina. And it just so happens that this Hurricane Ida is going to be hitting there tomorrow, which is the 16-year anniversary of Katrina. They're expecting 20 inches of water in some areas way north. They're expecting 9 feet in other places. Landfall is going to be about a category 4 from what we know right now. And over 6 million Americans will be affected. So keep them uplifted in prayer for their safety and that they pull through it. And we don't have a repeat of Katrina. If you guys caught part 3 of this 9/11 decode, I actually went back and I've labeled them part 1, 2, 3, and now this is part 4. Part 3, I was joined by Trisha. She's in the chat room tonight, and Trisha did, and the rest of the research team did a fantastic job decoding. We're going to do a little bit of a recap over it in case anybody missed that, so you don't have to go back. So in 2013, there was a video put out. I'm going to play it for you guys real quick. We're just going to do a quick recap so we can continue on with this, because this show actually is not going to be the last one like I thought it was. We are actually going to have a part 5, which will be probably Tuesday night or Wednesday. Not sure what day yet. We are in a process of doing a major decode on something that at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to kind of lead into it, tell you kind of what we have and what we've discovered. And hopefully that'll intrigue you enough to come back on Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Tuesday, when we put this information out. It's pretty amazing. So let's see. I got my little notepad here. All right. So back in 2013, there was a video put out by the YouTube channel or group of people known as, where are you? Known as Heliofont. Heliofont is a group of people. They are CGI engineers, graphic artists, and everything. They put this together. And it's been decoded many times. And Earth of Stars has done them, just a number of people. And I think Robbie did a decode of one of these videos about 6 months ago. And this video came out, and there's a lot going on with it. And I'm actually going to play this for you in just a little bit. But I'm going to start out with a video that came out in 2013. And this is the one where we got the code, this code right here, the 231134421 code. So let's start there. Okay, so yeah, a lot going on there. Real quick, I'm going to recap. Let me just pull up that real quick for us. Give me just a minute. Uh-oh. Huh. Where'd it go to? Okay, give me a second. Thought I had it pulled up here. Is this the one? Here we go. Okay, I've got it. Sorry about that. I've got a lot of tabs pulled up for us tonight. So give me a break here. Okay, here we go. So let's do this real quick. We're going to recap this. We're going to put it on mute, and we're just going to recap it. I'm going to make it big for us here. Here we go. Okay, so in this recap, here we have the Illuminati guy, as Trish described him, and it says designated locations. I told you guys before I wasn't really aware of. We tried to look at the illuminated spots in the map. Didn't really add up with anything. But then he goes in and starts with pulling up these images, and we're going to go through the images real quick, and we're going to compare them to IPECO. So here we have. I was corrected. And I want to thank the viewer that corrected me. This first one here is not Tiananmen Square. This one happens to be the Boston bombing. Down here we have Oklahoma City. We have the Twin Towers. We have John F. Kennedy. It looks like we've got the Valentine Day Massacre. And it looks like the BP oil spill over there on the right. He goes in and he pulls a lot of them closer again. Go back here. Up at the top, Revolutionary War. We have the assassination of Kennedy. Down here, we have was told that was the Boston bombing. It was signing of the Declaration of Independence, signing of the Patriot Act. Looks like we got World War II up here with some Nazis. We got the moon landing. And we got the Vietnam War. Again, we've got, looks like the Valentine Day Massacre. We got I think that's the Aurora shooting. Not sure. I think I said it before. We got like I said, Kennedy assassination. Last thing we see, we've got the Pentagon, we've got Oklahoma City, and the last thing you see is 9/11. And he goes in May 1st, again, was the creation of the Bavarian Illuminati by Adam Weishaupt, and that was funded by the now Rothschilds. September 11th, April 19th, which was the Oklahoma City bombing. It was also the date of Waco, which I thought was interesting because there was 2 events on that day, but they show Snowden. Not sure really why. I haven't really deciphered that one yet. Then he says runaway. Sector New York water. Now remember, we're not followers of Q, but we do pay attention to Q. Q right along has been saying watch the water. Remember we've discussed the now 3 mysterious explosions off the coast of Florida that caused seismic activity. The also one up in the Caspian Sea. None of them have been explained enough to alter my opinion of what happened. Let's just put it that way. Okay, and then we have the last ones, the be ready, and then we have it's time for them to flood the world with power. Could be, could not be, we don't know, but that's kind of what we came up with. Okay, so that's our recap. Now we're going to go over to the heliofont, and we're going to play this because I want you guys. Hold on a minute. I want you guys to watch. There's one part in particular. We're not going to play a lot. But there's one part in particular that I want you to pay attention to. So I'm just going to mute out and play for you.
Vote me one. Vote me one. Vote me one. Shame on. Shame on. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. For me, take it for the end. Take it for the end. Take it for the end. Take it for the end.
Okay, so that's George Bush. You can recognize him. And he says something, this is exactly what he said. I'm going to pull it up for you to listen to. Very brief. Where is it? Bush. Here we go.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Okay, so that's where they got that from. Now, in the background, this is just, again, just a recap. In the background, you saw right here. There's a map in the background, and it's got pins sticking out. And I wrote on this what they are. We've got the one on the Gulf, which is the BP oil spill. The BP oil spill took place on April 20th of 2010. And we have the Hurricane Katrina was August 23rd to August 31st, 2005. We have the Oklahoma City bombing, which was April 19th, 1995. And then we've got the pin up there at September 11th, which we know was September 11th, 2001. Okay. Oops. Let's go back to heliofont. There's a couple parts I want to play for you guys. And I really hope I don't get in trouble for playing this. I really, really do. Give me a second here. Have you guys seen this before? Has anybody not seen this before? Has anybody not seen this? Let me go to the chat room real quick. Have any of you not seen this? Just waiting for an answer. Because if not, I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'll play it. I guess I'll just play it. Okay. Okay. I am going to mute this down and I'm going to show you a few things. Okay. Obviously, we can see in this, 2 seconds here. Did I pull it up or did I not? I guess I didn't. Okay. But in here, we have, why didn't I pull that up? Oh, give me a second. Save as Apple APP. Okay. I made a screenshot and I didn't save it for myself. So give me 2 seconds. APP. Apple, there it is. Got it. Okay. So in this scene, you can see she drops the apple and the apple breaks in two. Apple being, I believe, New York City, the Big Apple breaks in two. All right. Then it goes on, and this is, let's see. Let's go to out of this one. There's the apple. Okay. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, we see the Twin Towers right here. The Twin Towers are burning, and then what happens? They collapse. Okay. There we have the New York reference again. We just had it with the Big Apple. And then after this, you've got the dog god coming through. We've got, and this, guys, this plays into what's happening right now over in Afghanistan. It started on 9/11 with Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden is, there he is right there. Okay, so this is where it started. And then we've got his army behind him, which now is ISIS or ISIL, whatever you want to call them. They're all the same over there. Here we have another reference, it looks like, to the Statue of Liberty. You can see the statue with the thorns on her head. And we're going to get into more of a decode on the next show because this plays into it. But I just want to bring your attention to just a couple of things here. I got it written down. Because I do believe Osiris plays into this, and with Isis K. And I'm going to show you a couple of things on Isis K real quick. Okay, in his eyes, it would be his left eye or so the right side here. You can see where it says war. Where was this? Try to stop it. War plunge. And then market collapse, or market plunge, war coverage, market collapse, war coverage. And then it goes into the, just a second, let me rewind it here. And then it goes into the planes, and it looks like they bomb possibly Temple Mount. Let's see where else I want to show you. I'm just taking things that are happening like right now. One in particular. Not sure where it is. Here we got more troops coming in. Okay, here's the China reference. That was Tiananmen Square. You see that it's got, on the back of her shirt, it's got the lion, which symbolizes Russia. Here we have, it looks like, from Mardi Gras. So we would have the NOLA, which is playing into it right now. Mardi Gras has the costumes that they wear. Okay. There's one more thing I want to show you guys before we get out of this one. Actually, a couple things. I'll wait for the woman in the tower. And we have Callie. Okay. Here's one that was interesting. And again, we're going to go over that next show, but just a little bit to show you. Kamala Harris has a connection to the goddess Kali. And we're going to get into that on the next show further in depth. So I believe that this represents Kamala Harris right here. And okay, here we have the woman in the tower. All right, I want you to, and it's kind of gross and disgusting what this part is, but I want you to notice something. So here's the woman, okay, and she's obviously an elderly woman, okay, but okay, we're gonna stop right there. All right, I understand this is kind of graphic. You get children, leave the room. Here's the thing. Okay, this woman is obviously elderly. She's obviously postmenopausal, but it shows that she's now having menstrual bleeding. This is one of the things that is going on with this thing that we're not supposed to talk about. I told you guys probably 2-3 months ago that I have a personal experience myself when I was around Dave's siblings, who had that thing we're not supposed to talk about. They had received it. And I'm postmenopausal myself. I was around them for about 5, 6, 7, 8 hours over the course of a couple of days. And for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I got my period. And it was bad. Came back home and I thought I was crazy. Ended up, I joined a group on Facebook. It's been deleted now. They've been through four Facebook groups now. But it was all people my age older. So postmenopausal women who had been around people that had got that thing we're not supposed to talk about. Every single one of them had a bad experience with breakthrough bleeding. Every one of them. And we're talking tens of thousands of women that were in these groups. Not only that, but they were younger children too that hadn't even reached puberty yet that had started this breakthrough. Okay. I could never understand this part of this video for the longest time until just recently. Okay. And I believe this all plays a part in what we're going through right now with the world. Okay. That I think was very important. And I'm sorry for being so graphic, but I don't know any other way to sit here. I'm not going to hem and haw with you guys because that's just not the way I am. And I'm sure you guys appreciate that. So we're going to get into that now. There was one more part. You guys all know the story of Osiris, right? Osiris was killed, and he was dismembered. His body parts were spread all over the valley, and his wife, sister, went and gathered up all of his parts, but she couldn't find his penis. And that's why we have these, when we say these obelisks all over the world, because they're supposed to represent Osiris's penis. The one in Washington, D.C. lines up with the Sirius star, which is the god star, or the dog star, that has to do with Osiris. Now, here's another thing. It has to do with, what do I say? It has to do with pyramids. It has to do with the top of the pyramid. The Freemasons are waiting for Osiris to return to put the cap on the pyramid. That's why when you see on the dollar, you don't see the capstone connected to, and I should have grabbed it. I don't know why I didn't. But you don't see the capstone put on the pyramid on the money. You see it's hovering above the pyramid. That's because they're waiting for Osiris to return. He's the capstone of the pyramid. Now, what is interesting, and this is where I'm going with this. Okay, I'm going to pull that up for just a minute. Okay, so in this video, again, right here, here's the sun, and there's 1, 2, okay, here's where it's going to go into our next show. All right, so pyramid. Talking about, we're gonna backtrack just a bit. So talking about New York again. We told you guys about the Club K cargo containers. These are right here. Club K. Remember K. Okay. Club K are missiles that go on container ships. I told you guys about the largest container ship to ever visit the East Coast. Arrived at the port of New York and New Jersey. It's called the Marco Polo. So that is out there right now traveling. Oh, are you serious? Can you hear me now? Okay, audio's back. Okay, sorry. I don't know where'd you guys lose me? All right, I'm just going to continue. So we have the club K. Remember the K. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pull up something for you guys. Okay. Actually, no, I don't want to go there yet. I want to pull up this. We've been hearing a lot about ISIS, and they've changed it because over the years we've heard about them just being called ISIS, or Obama called them ISIL. Now we're hearing about ISIS K. All right, guys, got to follow me here. ISIS K. All right. Now, in English, the letter K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Okay. The 11th letter of the Greek alphabet is called lambda. We've been hearing a lot about lambda in the news lately. And I'm going to show you, in case you're not aware of it, what I'm talking about.
Let's take a closer look at this Lambda variant. Today was the first time many of us heard about it. It was first detected in August of last year in South America, but the World Health Organization only flagged it as a variant of interest last month when health experts noticed how fast it was spreading, particularly in Peru, where more than 90% of new COVID cases within the past few months are associated with this Lambda variant. It has since spread to 29 countries. But again, at this point, it's only, quote, a variant of interest. That's a step below variant of concern.
Okay, I'll put this back up here. The English letter K is the 11th letter. The 11th letter of the Greek alphabet is lambda, and that's could be the lambda variant. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to pull this up for us because the Greek letter lambda is represented by a pyramid. So, is what's going on, this 9/11, this 9/11 breakdown, does it have something to do? Are they trying to tell us that it has something to do with ISIS K? Is that who they're going to blame? If I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but is who they're going to blame if something should happen? And we're going to go in detail. That is the decode that we're doing right now. It is actually pretty amazing. Now, you guys have heard of Nostradamus, right? Probably. Michel de Nostradamus. I was a big Nostradamus buff, I guess you could say, back when I was a child, back in the 70s. But Michel de Nostradamus was born in France, and he was born in 1503. He was a French astrologer, a physician, and he was a seer. Now, I understand that what the Bible talks us about, we're not supposed to have anything to do with divination. What Nostradamus did is he used to scribe. He would see visions, and he wrote his visions down. A lot of the things that have happened that he has predicted have come true. A lot of them were, Hitler, which was Hister. He supposedly prophesized the initial September 11, 2001 attack on New York. And it appears in his quatrain that he has predicted a nuclear strike on New York. One of the most disturbing yet seemingly accurate futuristic predictions given by Nostradamus in his centuries regarding the commencement of World War III is a prediction given below. Fire approaches the new city from the sky. A massive flame arises from 45 degrees. The Normans will be in chaos. This is an obvious description of an atomic attack on New York City, which has been described as the new city. New York did not exist at the time of Nostradamus, hence it has always been referred to as New City in his prophecies. New York lies on the 45th parallel north. Hence, the description fits like a shoe. The only other city with the same new, the name New, which lies in this parallel, is New Meadows, Idaho. Almost half of American people are of British origin, hence they were seen as the Normans by Nostradamus. This is a symbolic description of the American people by Nostradamus. The Normans were an aggressive, aristocratic people from Britain and other parts of Europe, more often than not engaged in pursuit of war and conquest. Nostradamus describes these people in a state of chaos after the nuclear strike. We heard the pastor the other night describing what the Book of Mormon, that's ties in with the next thing I'm doing. Describing what the Bible tells us. And I'm going to read a couple chapters from the book of Revelation, chapter 17. And there came one of 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness in her fornication. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyr Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said to me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carried her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold beast that was and is not and yet is. And there is a mind which hath wisdom, the 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings and 5 are fallen. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. One is, and the other is not yet come. And the other day we heard the pastor describe this actual verse, talking about how the presidents from the time of Jared Kushner's birth until now. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th and goeth into perdition. All right, then it says, warning to God's people. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, and having great power on earth, was enlightened with glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, and ye be not partakers of her sins, and ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her double according to her work, in the cup which she hath filled to the double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow she give. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, I am no widow, I shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall beguile her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour her judgment come. You guys remember when I played for you the prophecy of Decoding, when he said that the United States would be destroyed in an hour? I do believe that's coming upon us. Believe what you want about the Bible. You can sit there and you can say it was created by man, it was written by man, there's nothing to do with it. Your opinion doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because the people that are in charge of things in this world, they believe so much in the Bible that they use it for a playbook. Are they manipulating scriptures? Absolutely. Just as in times of the original Babylon, when they built the Tower of Babel, they were pushing the hand of God. They believed that they could bring forth prophecy and they could bring him or go to him. Okay? They believed that they could go to him and that they could kill him. Here is a depiction. Oops. Here's a depiction of Babylon. And you can see that the Tower of Babel is the tallest building in Babylon. And here we have New York. Here's New York City, the Big Apple, Babylon, modern day Babylon. And the highest building is the One World Trade Center, which, if you look at it, like Trisha mentioned the other day, it looks like that thing that you put in your arm. Also, it has the pyramids, as above, so below. And if you do research on it, you'll notice that there's the black cube, which is right out front of this. And then we have the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is completely occultic, we know that. And we've got the runaway sector, New York water. We've got this. And what in the heck? Watch the water. Here we go. And I'm missing one. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Right there. Okay. Okay, so here's the code again. The 2311344421. You start from the right to the left, which is backwards, the way the occult and the way the Illuminati way they read things and do things. We've got the 21, which is the year 2021. We got the 4, the 4, and the 3, which equals 11, and then we got the 1, the 1, the 3, and the 2, which equals 7. You're probably saying, "Oh, wait a minute, that's July. It's past." Well, SCPT, septem, means 7. So 7 is September 11th, 2021. And I'm going to end this tonight by just one more scripture, and that is Luke 21, chapter 21, verse 26, says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. It's not a question of if it happens, it's a matter of when it happens. The Bible tells us it's going to happen. I do believe it is going to happen. Do I believe it's going to happen on the 11th? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball to look in. All I can do is read the signs. All I can do is decode what is put in front of us. All I can do is warn the people, and that's all I can do. I'm not a prophet. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not like Nostradamus. I don't understand any of this. All I'm doing is reading it, looking at the numbers, looking at the things that are happening right now in Afghanistan, looking at how our administration right now, our current administration, is setting us up for failure. They are setting us up to be attacked. If you don't see that, not only did they leave behind equipment, arms, they also left behind a machine and the software to make military IDs. They're bringing people over who are, I'm sure that when they got on the plane, they didn't say, are you an extremist? Do you believe fully and wholeheartedly, do you live by the Quran? Because if so, the Quran tells them that if an infidel does not change, does not denounce their faith, that it's death. Current administration, the potato in chief, setting us up. I firmly believe it. He's setting us up. Do I believe Trump's coming in and swooping up? Nope, I don't. I believe kind of what the pastor said the other day about Jared, his son-in-law there, Jared Kushner. I believe that, and which is a big step for me, because you guys, I've done 4 years of research on who I thought the Antichrist was. 4 years looking at the book of the Bible. Book of Daniel tells us in the book of Daniel what lineage the Antichrist will be coming from. And it would become from the same lineage that destroyed the temple in 70 AD, and that was the Roman Empire. So I went from that time forward and came to the conclusion of William. Everything aligned with him. I played you guys that video. Everything aligned with him. But I can't ignore Kushner. I can't ignore what the pastor said the other day. And I can't ignore what Trump's part is going to play in it. I can't ignore that. I do believe that they could possibly be part of the unholy trinity. Remember, the enemy will counterfeit what God has created. So because we've got the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, having to do with the Father, with God, we also have the unholy trinity, which will be in part by the Antichrist. In the Bible, we're told in Revelation chapter 20, verse 10, it says, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So we're told in book of Revelation, there's 3 aspects to this. As there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, there is the beast, the false prophet, and the Antichrist. We know the false prophet's the Pope. That's a given. It's just defining who the beast and who the Antichrist is. Could it be Kushner and Trump? Absolutely. But regardless, this administration is setting us up big. This isn't going to turn out well. You don't think that they're going to let the United States get away with what we've done for the past 4 years. Obama set that up. Trump wasn't supposed to get in. Hillary was supposed to get in. Trump was not supposed to win that presidency. He wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be Hillary. So for 4 years, Trump was in office and wasn't continuing the mission that had been taking place for prior administrations. It's not going to end well. That's why I always tell you guys, get your foundation solid. Get it very solid. Prep. Do as much prep as you can. Tuesday night, I may be back. We're going to talk about the Osiris. We're going to talk about the Delta. We're going to talk about the K, how that plays into everything. Because I do think that all plays in. I think the Club K missiles, the Greek letter lambda. It's the perfect storm, guys, and it's brewing. What did Trump say? You know, Trump told us how many times? The storm's coming. I think the storm's here. I really do. We're going to get into the history of Osiris and how that plays in with the pyramids, because I think that all plays in. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to go. I'm going to put all the links in the description area below for you guys to take a look at it. I'll even put the link in for the 2013 video. I also want to mention, and I did not mention this the other day, or I might have mentioned it, or I thought I mentioned it. We still have nuclear warheads that are missing. They went missing in 2012 or 13, something like that. It was during the Obama administration. He was moving them from Texas to the East Coast. I do remember telling you guys that. He was moving them from Texas to the East Coast. And it's supposed to go through a lot of red tape. And he, being the commander-in-chief, overrode the red tape so that the bombs were moved with the detonator caps, which that never happens. It's never supposed to. They're never supposed to be moved together. Security was not very good on them, and three disappeared. 2 with traditional nuclear detonators, and 1 with an EMP. 1 was detonated off the coast of the Carolinas. That was the white hats that actually stopped Obama from nuking the U.S., which he was going to do. And so now we have 2 of them out there. 1 EMP and 1 conventional. You know, this administration, you know, this country, this government is not above causing a problem and blaming it on somebody else. They'd never do that, right? Didn't the potato in chief, didn't he just say about a month ago or within the last month, he was given a speech and he said, you don't want to mess with the government because we've got nukes? He said that to his own people. He was talking about people that were standing up to the government and talking against him. I mean, he said, you don't want to mess with us. You don't want to mess with the government. We got the guns. We got the nukes. All right. That is all I got. I will see you guys on Tuesday night. That'll be my last show before vacation. I'm going to be leaving out on Friday, but I've got to get us ready. So Tuesday night will be the last show for a couple of weeks. And like I said, we're going to go into Osiris. We're going to go into the K. We're going to go into the Delta. We're going to go into all of that esoterically and spiritually and physically, and put it together and hopefully wrap this up before I go on vacation. So you guys all have a very pleasant night. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. I got my husband home for the next couple of days. He's got to have a procedure done on his eye on Monday, so he's not going to be working until Tuesday. So if you could, please keep him in your prayers. This eye thing's been going on since last October. Hopefully this is the last procedure he's got to go for, but he's got to have a needle put in his eye for something. I don't know what, pressure or something. So if you could, please keep him in your prayers. All right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, remember, eyes open, no fear.